Hey, Pull Peeps, it's been a while since I've been able to put up a video, and I apologize for that. To be honest, I've just been super busy like everybody else, and I ended up buying one of these GoPros, but I found out pretty quick here in Arizona, those GoPros get overheated and they just turn off pretty quick. And kind of a pain in the butt dealing with that thing. I've had some pretty good footage for you guys, but I haven't been able to share it with you because ends up turning off the camera halfway through what I'm doing. But anyways, I got a job here today. I know some of you guys that have been watching this channel have been wanting to see more repair work, so I'm going to be doing a plumbing repair. Basically what happened here is this heater was put in not too long ago, about 6 months ago, from another company. It's one of the larger companies here in town. And anyways, the fitting had a crack in it, and it sprung a leak. I told the customer, and I said, hey, you might be able to get them to come out here and warranty that. But they didn't. They gave them a quote for like 220 or something like that to replace this fitting. And anyways, I said I could do it cheaper than that. Let me do it. So here I am. But I've got the Jandy Union there. You can see it in my little milk crate there. Just in case I need to replumb the whole thing, but I'm going to try to save that union that's already on there. So anyways, I'm basically right now trying to do the chip and pill method, and on this bottom section I was able to do it pretty easy. You can see it didn't take only 2 minutes, and that thing there would just slide right off, but that top piece is still in the way, so I'm going to leave it there for the time being. But this job's going to get a little bit harder here in a second. You're going to see what's going on. I wouldn't say this is advanced PVC plumbing, to be honest with you guys. Oh, sorry about that. We're in the GoPro on the head there. I can see what's going on, but you obviously can't. But I'm not even, I don't consider myself an advanced plumber. I mean, I do service almost all day long, and I do my own repairs, but I don't do repair work all day long. I would say some of those guys out there that do plumbing work all day, those guys are pretty advanced plumbers. They can run circles around me, but this definitely isn't beginner plumbing either, so it's somewhere in between. But basically I'm trying to do the chip and pill method on this top piece as well. This heater was installed by a different company. I think they underbid me by like $200. The truth is these larger companies, they buy their equipment in bulk, and it's kind of hard to match their price because I'm sure they buy that heater for $300 cheaper than what I buy it for, or maybe more. So they're able to give a lot better of a deal, so the customer won't with them on it. But I've learned over time not to sweat that kind of stuff. You win some, you lose some. It's not really a big deal. And in this case, they actually screwed up like I think 2 or 3 times. I think there was 3 screw ups on this particular heater job, and I had to tell the customer, because I service this pool. It was one of my weekly service pools. In fact, I've got 3 next door neighbors right here. It's kind of nice, but they didn't hook up the bond wire and the electrical wire. I don't remember. It seems like something with the electrical wire. I think maybe they didn't do the like waterproof connector right or something. I don't remember. It's been a while. And then now this leak in the fitting. So they screwed up 3 things. So I don't think my customer's ever going to use them again. But try to save $200 or $300. You can't blame them. So here we are. So as you can tell, this top piece isn't coming off nearly as easy as the bottom one. There's a little close up. I've cut all the way through the fitting and starting to cut into the pipe underneath, and this sucker is just not breaking off. And I've been in this situation before, and I know when I get that hammer out and I start hammering, I start breaking stuff. So I'm just lightly tapping on it right now, and I'm not going to hit it too hard. I'm not going to go too far with it. If it doesn't budge, then I'm going to go to plan B. And that's basically what happened. So, plan B. Get the drill, and let's see. I think what I'm doing here is I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to switch it to the top just so I have a little bit more room to work with the drill. Alright, there it is, guys. There it is. Taking a look at my work, trying to figure out why that fitting won't bust off of there. And honestly, you know, I've seen some of these that come off easy, and I've seen some of them that just, they won't come off. You got to destroy it to get it off. And I don't want to do that. So we're going to move on to plan B. It's probably a good time to, you know, tell you guys if there's anything you want to see, anything in particular, any repair work, or if you have any questions about the pool industry or whatever, just, you know, throw them in the comments below. And, you know, if I come across that stuff out in the field, then I'll definitely make a video on it. You know, I don't have a whole lot of time. I do about a little over 130 accounts. Myself, it's just me. I don't have any employees anymore, and I do most of my own repair work just when I get too busy, or if, you know, there's something out of my expertise, I'll refer it out. But I do probably 99% of my repair work, so I get pretty busy. But I enjoy making these videos, and I enjoy the conversation with you guys. So if you have anything you want to see, let me know. Alright, this little tool here, this is my second time using this tool, and you'll see I actually made a mistake with it. You'll see coming up here, but started out on the low speed, which I remembered after I did it the first time I used this tool that didn't really work very good. So I'm going to switch it over to high speed here in a minute. There we go, turbos. Alright, need some eye protection because this thing is raining shavings all over the place. Okay, so you can't really see what's going on here, but the center rod on that tool is actually hitting inside the pipe. So this can be removed, and I'm going to grab an Allen wrench and take it off. It makes it a little bit shorter so I can get the rest of that fitting off. But if you take that centerpiece out, then you have to be a little bit more careful as far as centering the tool yourself, because that's, you know, that portion of it is to keep it centered while you're taking that fitting off. Alright, going at it again, taking the rest of that fitting off. Comes off pretty quick. You know, another method you could have done here is man, I don't remember the name of that other tool. I forget. I'm trying to. It's made by a company called Reed. You know, I think it's called Fitting Saver. Pretty sure that's it. But basically, it takes off the inside pipe. And you could definitely do that in this situation. You could use that and, you know, ream out that pipe from that black union there. The problem that I've had with that tool is number one, it's slower, and number two, you know, sometimes it actually will crack the fitting, and I gotta be careful with it. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm not that great with it yet, but I've definitely ruined some fittings, so I didn't want to ruin this union. So here I'm just smoothing it out with some sandpaper, because the tool that I used to take off that fitting, it leaves it pretty rough. It kind of cuts grooves into it. And you'll see here in a minute that that I actually screwed up, because and I remember the first time I used this tool, I did the same thing, because that tool, it doesn't cut it like perfectly off. It'll actually leave just a tiny layer of fitting on the pipe still, and then when you go to put your new fitting on, you can't get it on because it's too tight. So what I'm going to end up having to do here is put the tool back on there and kind of rock it to the side a little bit and get, you know, as much of that old fitting off as I can. But right here I'm just taking the chisel, because, you know, you can actually see how much pipe I have to work with there. You know, that previous company, they probably only left a ½ inch of pipe sticking out of there, and that's not a whole lot to bite onto. So I was just chiseling off the old glue, because I don't want to be gluing on top of glue. I want to have my glue go on top of plastic PVC so I can get the best connection possible. So I was just chiseling off the old glue there. All right, getting ready to go ahead with attempt number 1, which is going to be a complete failure. Putting on my primer. I have purple primer because I just ran out of the clear stuff. And I was at Home Depot the other day and they did not sell clear stuff, but they had the purple. So I don't really like purple primer, but here we are. All right, you know, when I do one of these plumbing jobs that, you know, are kind of like, I don't know what the right word is to describe this, but not perfect. You know, I'm just working with a 1/2 inch of pipe, and I got some old fitting on there that's, you know, being shaved off, and I had to hit it with the sandpaper to smooth it down. You know, I would call this not optimal, and whenever that's the case, I like to use a real slow curing PVC cement, and I find over time that helps quite a bit. That, you know, quick hot stuff they call it, like red hot PVC cement, and I think there's some other ones, but I just find they don't work as good when you get in a situation like this. Alright, safety glasses on, going in for another round of shaving. And just going to do a close-up. You can actually see me taking another layer off, and you can't really tell, but I'm rocking my drill back and forth, up and down, trying to get a little bit more material off. Alright, let's do a quick test fit. Better, but not quite there. Gotta do a little more. That purple diagonal line, that was when I was trying to do the chip and fill, and went all the way through the fitting, started to go into the pipe underneath, and I still couldn't get that fitting to chip off. I don't know, maybe you guys, if there's a couple of you guys that have been doing this for a long time, I know there's one guy in the comments who says he's got 40 years in the industry. Maybe you can give me some tips on chip and pill, because sometimes they come right off, and you know, sometimes I screw it up and I have to plumb a whole return manifold because I screwed it up, you know. Maybe you can give me some tips there. I don't know why one comes off easy and the other comes off hard. I don't know the difference. But I'd be willing to bet you it's something that I'm doing wrong, because you know, I've seen other guys do it and they make it look easy. Alright, let's try to glue it on again. Let's see if it's going to fit this time. Tell you what, man, when I get in a situation like this too, where the plumbing is not optimal, I really load that glue on there, man. I slop it on. I don't care, because you know, usually I just use a little bit, make my joints nice and pretty. But something like this, I'm gonna freaking layer it on thick. Alright, I'm shoving that sucker in there. I'm gonna hold it there for a while. And I basically want my white part of my fitting to merge with the black part of the other fitting, because I only got a 1/2 inch of pipe to work with. So I'm just shoving it on, and I'm trying to get that whole thing to just cement solid. Alright, working on the bottom piece, chipping off the old glue. Alright, we're just about done here, guys. We're going to wrap this sucker up in a minute or two and be on to the next one. So I'm curious, guys. Tell me in the comments below. What are you guys doing in the industry? Are you running solo? Or do you have some techs working for you? Or are you the owner of a large business? Or are you working for a company? What's going on? Me personally, I used to have a couple guys working for me, but I didn't really like that. I didn't really like managing them, and I kind of found out that I'm not a good manager. I think I was just too easy on them, to be honest with you. They kind of took advantage of me a little bit, and I just kind of got tired of fixing their stuff and paying them for subpar work. And so they just started, over time they would leave one by one, and I would just stop replacing them, and then I would just downsize my accounts, and slowly downsize to just owner-operator. So just checking for leaks here, and everything looks good. I let this dry for a little bit. Like I said, I serviced the neighbors, so I went ahead and did some regular service, and then I came back, and I'm going to hit it with some paint. I might take a hit of paint myself for the drive home. Just messing, guys. Don't do drugs. That's bad for you. But anyways, that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully I have some more stuff coming up for you guys soon. Talk to you later.